Princess Zarathul of the Vorthak Empire stood on the observation deck of the massive dreadnought Stellar Dominion. Her forearms crossed in contemplation as she gazed down at the human prisoners below. The Vorthak had conquered dozens of species across the galaxy, but none had proven as intriguing as these bipedal creatures from the third planet of an unremarkable yellow star. Your Highness, her military advisor, General Kethmore, approached with his characteristic heavy footsteps. The interrogation of the human soldiers has yielded little tactical information. They remain defiant. Zarathul's crystalline eyes, which shifted color with her emotions, flickered from deep purple to an interested amber as she observed the 23 human prisoners in the containment bay. They had been captured during the failed defense of the mining colony on Kepler 442b, the first human settlement the Vorthak had encountered in their expansion into this spiral arm. "Tell me about that one," she said, pointing with her lower right arm toward the youngest-looking human. He couldn't have been more than 20 standard years old, with sandy brown hair and defiant green eyes that seemed to burn with an inner fire despite his circumstances. Private Marcus Chen, age 19. According to our intelligence, he volunteered for military service despite being below the recommended age threshold. His psychological profile indicates exceptional resilience and stubbornness. Princess Gui. Zarathul's skin, which normally maintained a regal silver hue, began to shimmer with traces of gold, a sign of fascination among her species. She had studied dozens of alien races, but humans possessed something unique. Where other species had submitted to Vorthak superiority through either fear or logical acceptance of their technological disadvantage, humans seemed to possess an almost supernatural ability to hope against impossible odds. "That human will be mine," she declared, surprising her advisor. "Bring him to my private chambers." General Kethmore's mandibles clicked in confusion. "Your Highness, surely you don't mean to—" "I mean to understand what makes them different," she interrupted. "The Zephyrians submitted after we destroyed one of their cities. The crystalline hegemony surrendered when we demonstrated our fleet's superiority. But these humans, they've lost every engagement. Their homeworld is blockaded, and yet they continue to fight with the ferocity of cornered predators. I must know why." 30 minutes later, Private Chen was escorted into the princess's chambers, his wrists bound, with energy shackles but his spine straight and his gaze unwavering. The room was a testament to Vorthak aesthetic sensibilities: flowing organic curves, bioluminescent panels, and gravity-defying furniture that seemed to grow from the walls themselves. "Sit," Zarathul commanded, gesturing to a chair that reformed itself to accommodate human anatomy. Chen remained standing. "I'll stand, thanks." The princess's eyes shifted to an amused green. In any other circumstance, such defiance would have earned immediate punishment. But something about this young human's courage intrigued her beyond measure. "You interest me, human. Your species faces extinction, yet you show no fear." "Should I?" Chen asked, meeting her alien gaze directly. "You're going to kill us all anyway, right? Might as well die standing up." "Perhaps, but first, explain to me why your people continue this futile resistance. We have conquered civilizations that possess technology far superior to yours. We have broken the will of species that had achieved interstellar travel for millennia before your ancestors discovered fire. Yet you fight on. Why?" Chen was quiet for a long moment, then spoke with a conviction that made the princess's skin shimmer with gold again. "Because someone has to. That is not an answer. It's the only answer that matters." Chen's voice grew stronger. "You want to know what makes humans different? We don't fight because we think we can win. We fight because we can't not fight. Every generation of humanity has faced extinction, ice ages, supervolcanoes, plagues, wars, starvation. Each time someone said, 'Not today,' and kept going. It's not about logic or tactics or superior technology. It's about the simple, stupid, beautiful human belief that tomorrow might be better than today." Zarathul found herself leaning forward, her scientific mind racing. "But you must know that your resistance is mathematically futile." Maybe, Chen shrugged. But we also know that David killed Goliath with a sling and a stone. We know that 13 colonies defeated the British Empire. We know that a handful of rebels destroyed the Death Star. He grinned, and there was something in that expression that made the princess's advanced predator instincts whisper warnings. We've got a pretty good track record with impossible odds. For the first time in her 400 years of life, Princess Zarathul felt something she had never experienced before. Doubt. Not about her empire's military superiority, that was unquestionable. But doubt about whether military superiority was enough to truly defeat a species that treated impossibility as merely another obstacle to overcome. You fascinate me, Private Chen, she admitted. I had intended to study you as one might study an interesting specimen. Instead, I find myself wondering if perhaps we are the ones being studied. Chen's grin widened. Funny thing about humans, Princess. We've got this really annoying habit of rubbing off on people. Couple more conversations like this and you might start asking some uncomfortable questions about your empire. As if summoned by his words, General Kethmore's voice crackled through the communication system. Your Highness, urgent report from the fleet. Long-range sensors are detecting massive hyperspace distortions at the edge of the system. It appears to be the entire human battle fleet. Princess Zarathul's eyes flashed to brilliant gold as she looked at the young soldier, who was now smiling with genuine warmth. Impossible, she whispered. Our intelligence indicated that the human fleet was destroyed at the Battle of Proxima. Yeah, about that, Chen said casually. Humans have another really annoying habit. We're excellent liars when we need to be, especially when it comes to protecting what we love. Outside the great ship, space began to fill with the running lights of 1,000 human vessels, each one carrying crews who had volunteered for what everyone knew was a suicide mission. But as Princess Zarathul was beginning to understand, suicide missions were just another Tuesday for humanity. The war was far from over, but in that moment, looking into the determined eyes of a 19-year-old soldier who faced an alien, Princess without flinching, she began to suspect that her empire had encountered something it had never faced before. A species that simply refused to be conquered. And despite herself, part of her admired them for it.